There's a pretty wild theory floating around the internet that some celebrities might actually be time travelers. Sounds crazy, right? But once you see the so-called evidence, it'll definitely make you raise an eyebrow. Some of these lookalikes from the past are so spot on, it's hard not to wonder if these stars somehow figured out how to bend the rules of time. So buckle up, because what you're about to see is straight up mind-blowing. Today we're diving into the mystery of celebs who might have hopped into a time machine. And unless you've just arrived here from the year 3025, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, and let's jump into this trip through time. Robert De Niro is a legend in the film world, known worldwide for playing a young Vito Corleone in The Godfather Part 2. The man's an icon, but get this, he has an almost identical twin from the 1600s. We're talking about Bartolomeus Strobel, a Polish Baroque painter born in 1591. There's this old painting of Strobel, and honestly, it's like someone traveled back in time and painted De Niro with a beard. If you saw it without context, you'd probably assume it was him. The weird part, these doppelgangers are separated by more than 350 years. If they ever shoot a movie about Strobel's life, casting should be a no-brainer. Even their birthmarks match. They've both got the same spot on their cheeks. I mean, what are the odds of that? Either it's an insane coincidence, or De Niro figured out how to time hop and just kept it hush-hush. Everyone knows Matt Damon from classics like Good Will Hunting and the Bourne series. He was born in 1970, and yeah, he's 54 now, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him. The twist? A guy recently found an old wedding photo of his parents from 1961, and his dad looked exactly like Damon. That's almost a decade before Damon was even born. The resemblance is eerie. Same facial structure, same expression, same vibe. It's like the universe hit copy and paste. People joke about time travelers all the time, but this one really makes you wonder if someone's been looping through timelines with a familiar face. Christian Bale's Batman still holds a special place in fans' hearts. But something not a lot of people notice, especially outside the US, is how much he looks like a younger version of Josh Brolin. You know, the guy who played Thanos in Avengers. The resemblance is so strong, some folks believe there's a deeper connection. Maybe they're distant cousins, or maybe, and this is where it gets wild, they're the same person living out two different lives. Bale looks more like Brolin than Brolin's own kid does. And with both being actors in big blockbusters, that just gives conspiracy theorists more fuel. Like, what if Brolin jumped back in time and restarted his acting career as Bale? Would explain a lot. Oscar Isaac has had some iconic roles, from Poe Dameron in Star Wars to Moon Knight and even Apocalypse in X-Men. But the craziest part, he looks just like a mystery man in a painting by Raphael, the legendary Italian Renaissance artist. The painting features Raphael himself and an unknown friend. Nobody knows who the guy is, and historians have tried everything to identify him, but came up with nothing. It's like this dude just appeared out of nowhere, posed for a painting, and vanished from history. And if you slap a Renaissance filter on Oscar Isaac, the resemblance becomes next level. Same face, same vibe, just different centuries. Could it be that Isaac is living a second life, or has been popping into different timelines for centuries? Alright, this one sounds like total sci-fi, but it's real. Anne Hathaway, the actress from The Devil Wears Prada, is somehow linked to none other than William Shakespeare, and not just in a literature class kind of way. First off, her husband, Adam Schulman, looks exactly like Shakespeare. Not similar, not kinda, exactly. It's uncanny, but here's the wild part. Shakespeare's real-life wife was also named Anne Hathaway. Yeah, same name, same couple dynamic, same vibe, theories all over the place. Some say vampires, others say time travelers. Some even believe in soulmates who keep finding each other over different lifetimes. Whatever it is, it's more than just a random coincidence. You'd have to be in deep denial not to raise an eyebrow at this one. So are Anne and Adam just the 21st century reboot of a love story that started in the 1500s? Kinda sounds like the plot of a movie, doesn't it? Tommy Lee Jones has crushed it in Hollywood, playing big roles like Two-Face in Batman Forever and Agent K in Men in Black alongside Will Smith. But maybe he had an even bigger role in actual US history. People started pointing out that he looks exactly like Andrew Johnson, the 17th president of the United States. And honestly, the older Tommy gets, the more he looks like the guy. What's even crazier, this isn't the first time a celeb has popped up looking just like a former president. We've done 2 other videos in this series, and there's always one. So now we're starting to wonder, did these guys figure out the secret to immortality? Or maybe they're just bouncing through timelines, living under new names. Coincidences are a thing, sure, but at this point it's starting to get spooky. Rupert Grint will forever be known as Ron Weasley from the Harry Potter movies, but art buffs think he might have another identity: Scottish painter David Wilkie. Wilkie lived from 1785 to 1841, and his self-portrait from his early 20s looks freakishly like a young Rupert. The red hair, the face, the vibe, it's all there. So what's going on? Did Ron Weasley cast a time travel spell during Defense Against the Dark Arts? Because there are just too many similarities to ignore. Someone posted a photo of her grandmother from 1962 and the internet lost it. Why? Because this grandma looks just like Barack Obama, the 44th president of the United States. Yes, she's a woman, but the resemblance is unreal. Same facial features, same expression, even the same ears. Turns out the grandma was an actress who performed with traveling theater groups, but honestly, the photo looks like one of those comedy sketches where a dude throws on a wig to play a female role. If you told me Obama threw on a dress and posed for this pic, I wouldn't even question it. Steve Martin is known for goofy comedies and wild characters, but here's a role you've never seen him in: a Victorian lady. Yep, someone posted an old framed photo of their friend's great-great-grandma, and she looks like Steve Martin in full period dress. And that's not all. There's another old photo from the early 1900s of a man who looks just like him too. Martin was born in 1945, so this dude from the 1900s came decades earlier. And the Victorian lady? We're talking at least a century gap. Is the simulation running out of faces to render? Or is Steve Martin just out here casually time hopping in costume? Ellen DeGeneres, comedian, host, and queen of the most retweeted selfie in history. But maybe she was making history long before that, as 19th century writer and abolitionist Henry David Thoreau. Thoreau was a big deal in the fight against slavery in the US, and when Ellen puts on a serious face, it's like staring at his twin. Same pale eyes, same nose, same slightly too big ears. Ellen's 67 now, and Thoreau only made it to 45. So at least she's beating her past life record this time around. Playing Spider-Man is one thing, being the reincarnation of a Russian revolutionary, that's next level. Andrew Garfield made a major comeback in No Way Home, but now people are comparing him to Leon Trotsky. And honestly, it's uncanny. Same hair, same intense stare, same everything. The only difference is that one was trying to take down the Russian government, and the other fought aliens with webs. Pretty close, right? Channing Tatum's known for roles in She's the Man and Dear John, always rocking that clean-cut military-style haircut. Maybe it's more than just a fashion choice. A Reddit user found a WW1-era photo in their family's collection, and the soldier in it looks just like Channing. The pic is super grainy, but even with low resolution, the resemblance is insane. The guy's uniform, the stare, everything. We don't have more pics of this mysterious soldier, but honestly, we might not need them. The resemblance is already wild enough. When Fidel Castro passed away in 2016, people started flooding the internet with side-by-sides comparing him to Liam Neeson. Yeah, taken Liam Neeson. The two look so alike, it kicked off a full-blown Twitter thread. They lived at the same time, so this one might not be about time travel, but maybe they're long-lost cousins. Cuba's not far from the US, so who knows? Maybe the Cuban leader made a secret trip to the States and left behind more than just political opinion. Castro lived to 90 and Neeson's just 18 years behind. You do the math. Dave Franco, known for Scrubs and 21 Jump Street, might be a little older than he looks. Someone posted a photo claiming it's their friend's uncle back in the day, but when you zoom in, it's basically a sepia-toned selfie of Dave Franco. Same face, same smirk, everything. It legit looks like Dave time traveled, threw on some old school clothes, and hit a vintage photo booth. Coincidence? Maybe. But with all these cases stacking up, we're starting to wonder if Hollywood is just a front for time travelers hiding in plain sight. And that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for sticking around till the end. If your brain's still intact after all those wild lookalikes, go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace out!